Hello, everybody. As I have advised you last week, that we will continue to record the tutorials for COIT 12206 and 20261. So we had covered 2, 3, 4, and today we will cover week 5. In week 5, we need to cover the inter-VLAN. The VLAN in very basic concept that we need to combine or group devices by functions, not by locations. As well, we will configure something called inter VLAN. Let's go and I'll explain to you what's each one when we come closer. So let's create a virtual. Here it is, basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, your student ID. What I need to do, I need to add for Linux hosts. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we add one of those open switch. So let's put this one a little bit down because we will need those ones soon. These are the 4 devices. Let's link them together. So this is host 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, and 4 to 4. Doesn't have to be, by the way, don't get me wrong, but just for me, because I like to track everything. So we have 4 devices. 4 of them, they share the same network, which is 192.168.10.0/24. And I'm going to put this one 10.10, this one 10.20, this one 10.30, and this one 10.40. So here, now let's jump inside and configure those devices. That's the one here. Let's go for this one. Remove all that. We do not have a gateway, so don't worry about that. So we don't have gateway. That's 1010 and 255, 255, 250. That's enough for this task. Over here, the same. That's 10.20. This one, 10.30. And this one, 10.40. That's it. That's it. So now let's start the project and let's see how it works. In normal mode, you can actually go from here and you just ping 192.168.10.20. Oh, that didn't work. So what about 30? It didn't work. Why about 40? It didn't work. Don't worry, it's not your fault. It's not, doesn't have any issue with you at all. What happened exactly? That switch, when we created with a permission. So inside that permissions, when you go over here, for example, can you see that? The permission denied. What is permission denied? We have a file inside those ones, inside the etc directory or container. That should be, when you deal with that, you got to be a sudo user, which is administrator user. Unfortunately, we created for you as a student only, so you cannot execute that. So to go around that, we have two approach. One, which is the university came up with. We execute that command, as you can see over here. Just to go over there and type etc open switch, and over here oh, that's sh. Here it is, done. That's it. That's it. And if you ping now, if you go back to the ping now and you ping anywhere, here it's working fine and no problem at all. So don't worry about that thing, because like this is not actually, it shouldn't work like that. So you put the device and it should work right away. That's the first approach. The second approach is my approach. So what you do, you go inside the etc file, you will find the permissions. One of those permissions, it has to be read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. In that manner, you will not find it like that. So go inside and change mode, the in the initial.sh to 777. Change mode, 777, and the name of the file. That's it. That's it. That's my approach. It worked fine. This is another approach, which is the university approach. Both are working fine. Here it is. It's work. That's task number one, by the way, for today's tutorial. Easy as that. There is no hassle. There is no headache with that. What we try to explain to you here, that if multi devices exist within the same network, it's easy to communicate through a layer 2 device or layer 3 device. That's layer 3 device. So layer 2 or layer 3. So it's easy to do so. Okay, so what is the problem? The problem is if those devices, they are in two different networks. Really? Yes, that's the problem. So how we do that? We ask you to save this file. No problem with that file. Here it is. I'm going to save that. Turn this one off. We will duplicate that. I can continue on that, but to follow the instructions of the tutorial, I will go with you with the same approach. So we close that. Here it is. And we go to the project. Make sure the project is off. Duplicate that and give it any name, whatever the name we ask you to do. I believe that's router. Here it is. That's the second piece of the lab today. What we will do, we will configure those two, host 1 and host 2, as network 10, and we will create those ones 192.168.20.0. So that network is 10, that network is 20, different networks. And we will see that how those ones will work. For those two networks to work, they need a layer 3 device. And that's why we will add that router here. And we will communicate that as well here. The idea of that is, let me just make sure that you get that clearly. This is an Ethernet 0, right? So what we will do, we will create here Ethernet 0.10, and we will put the network 192.168.10.1/24. And I'm gonna go over here as well, Ethernet 0 as well, dot 20, and I will create 192.168.20.1/24. Similar, yes. So that will be the gateway. That will be the gateway for for the first network, that will be the gateway for the second network. That's it. That's it. Nothing else more than that. And we will continue on here. Let's put this one. So as you can see that the Ethernet 0, that's 10, that's 20. Here and here. Now let's go over here and we'll see that what we have to do. We need to do, here it is. This network, host 1 and host 2, they can communicate with each other. 20 and 20, they can communicate with each other. But if 10 want to communicate with here, if this network want to communicate here, you need to go send the packet to the top, then go from here to here. That's how it is. That's what should be like that. However, to do that, we need to do some configurations. What is that configuration? Configuration on the router, which is, that's okay. I need to add those interfaces to the router and put it up. That's easy. I'm going to show you that. It's command, live command, session command. However, the real configuration, usually it's over here. What's here? Here we need to create first VLANs. That's one. Two, we need to assign ports. Those ports, you can see that number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Yes, we need to assign those ones to VLANs. So for example, Ethernet 1 and Ethernet 2, it's going to be assigned to VLAN 10. Let me just make sure that here it is. That's VLAN 10, those two devices. And over here will be VLAN 20. So any port link to that switch has to be either trunk or access. So either to belong to the trunking, which is can carry multi VLANs, or can carry only one VLAN. We will do that and we will see that how it's easy one. Before that, we need to change the IP and we enable the gateways because now we have a gateway. So we will need a gateway. So from now, I'm going to go here and I will change that and I will add that to here. As you can see that's 10.1, nothing else. And here over here as well, I'm going to add this one. Enable that. So that's 10.1 as well. Over here, I'm going to leave this one as it is, the IP, but I'm going to change that into 20.1. That's 20. And I will change that into 20. Okay. So here it is. And over here as well to 20. So that's become right now 20.30 and that's 20.40 and this one become 10.10 and this one 10.20 and the gateway for each one of them 20.1 and 10.1. Okay, now let's go over here and see that what we will do. Now, what we'll do, we will go over here, and I changed already all the PCs and everything. So now let's jump over here and we turn those devices. To make sure everything is working fine, I'm gonna go over here. This is the permission deny. I'm gonna type the same thing again one more time, just in case, because like we actually have, we did. And over here, just in case, to make sure that we are in the safe side. So that's the switch. On the switch, we need to create VLANs. We need to create the ports. We assign those ports to the switch. And over here, we need to create the gateways. So let's start with the router. Let's start with the router. I think it's better. So one of the things which I want to show you just only, we have that the OVS. What's inside the switch? The switch you can see over here, there is no actual configuration currently right now. You have port 5. I'm going to show you that the same command. We will run it after we assign some of those commands. You can see that, for example, here, that's the switch, the Ethernet 1, the Ethernet 2. Let's go over here. That's Ethernet 2, port Ethernet 2 is not assigned to anywhere. Ethernet 3 is not assigned to anywhere, like this. Let's see after we put all those commands and we run this command again, what we will do. Let me take you over here to the switch here from, I'm gonna go for the switch, that's OVS that's VSCTL, set, that's the port, the Ethernet 0 or the Ethernet that's 1. Let's go for the tag equal 10. What you try to do over here? Oh, you actually try to set that port, the Ethernet number 1, which is, you can see this one over here. I'm going to put it to a VLAN called VLAN 10. And over here, I'm going to do number 2 as well to tag number here. And number 3, I'm going to put it to VLAN 20. And number 4, I'm going to put it to VLAN 20. Just make sure to get that clearly. That command here, I assign that port and that port to VLAN 10 and that port to VLAN 20. So that's it. That's on the switch. So if you go back again and you type the same command, which is I show you again, you will find that here it is. The Ethernet become tag number 10. The Ethernet become tag number 20, and so on. So that's on the switch side. So we assign those ones to the switch. Now let's jump to the router. I'm going to go over here to the router, and I will start assign IP addresses. So that's the IP, that's the link, add link, that's Ethernet 0, name Ethernet 0.10. And over here, what is the type? VLAN. What is the ID of that? VLAN 10. So that command, to just make sure to understand that. Can you add, this is the IP, that's the link. What is the link exactly? Oh, that's the link to the Ethernet 0. All right. So what you want to name that link? I want to name that link Ethernet um, Ethernet 0.10. What is the type? Type is VLAN, which is inter VLAN. And the ID here, ID, not S, ID here, VLAN, ID is 10. That's it. That's it. So the IP link, Ethernet name, Ethernet.10, type VLAN ID 10. Here it is. And we will change that into 20. And I'm going to change that into 20. So I create two sub interfaces here on that one. On the Ethernet 0, I create two sub interfaces, 10 and 20. Now I need to add an IP addresses to those interfaces or sub interfaces. So here it is, that's IP addresses, add 192.168.10.1, that's /24, and that's the Ethernet 0.10. And the second one, that's a 20, and the Ethernet, that's the VLAN 20. Now I put the IP addresses 110.1, the gateway 1.1, 10.1, and the second one 10.20.1. Now I need to put them up. The command in Cisco, we call that no shut. So we put those ones into here. That's dev and the Ethernet 0.10. Can you put it up? And same thing over here. Can you put the 20 up? That's it. That's it. So review your configuration and everything. And let's see over here. Can host the number one ping or not? If you can ping, that means your work is correct and everything is cool. If it's not, that means we have done something, a twisted mistake, and we need to go back. So that's a 20.1. Yes, I can ping the gateway for the other 20.30. That's the PC. So I am pinging from here to here. And number 40 as well from here to here. That's it. That's it. If you have been asked to, that's you pinging from 10 network to 30 network. If you've been asked for example, to have capture, easy. So just only over here. If you're gonna ping from that one, just go over here and let me just close that. Let's capture this one. If you've been asked to capture that one, here it is. Give it any name. For example, that's it, enter VLAN cap.pcap. Don't forget the pcap. Here it is. Now ping again. Here, ping your internal network. That's your network. Then after that, I'm gonna ping the other gateway. Here it is. Then I'm gonna ping 20.30. Then I'm gonna ping 20.40. That's it. That's it. Now, if you want to get that, stop that one. Stop the capture. Just run the FileZilla. Put over here 192.168.56.116. Oh, that's my IP, not your IP. Make sure that to understand that. So check your IP and 22. Your IP, which is this one, whatever the IP address in your machine here. Let's put it here, Genus3, and try to link here. Yes, I can. Go to the OPT. From the OPT, go to the GNS project. Unfortunately, you need to find the project name here because there is no naming. So, for example, the one I have here, I can name it as VLAN router. That's the one. Expand that. Inside the capture here, you will find this one. Just take it from here, put it in your desktop, put it in download, put it anywhere you like. And from here, that's the download. Here it is. And that's the ICMP. So you can see the ARP, which goes to, you can see that the ICMP from 10 going to 20, from 10 to 20, that's the first one. Watch this one. This is from 10 going to the 20 network, from the 10 going to the 20 network, 20 to 30, from 1010 to 2030, different network and with the same interface, the same physical, but different logical. I hope that give you some cover. That's the tutorial number 5, and I'll see you in tutorial number 6. Thank you.